Semi beats.
All right. Home Squad Sports. We're going ahead and go over our games for the week, top 6 games. Get right into it. Hope everyone's had a good week. Storms going everywhere, so hope everyone's in safe, got power. So if you do, go ahead and tune in, and great day of ball ahead and tomorrow. So go ahead and get situated here, Dalton. What'd you think about last night's games? We have a full slate in. First, we'll go ahead and just get right into it. Let's see here with Thursday nights. You may not want to review Thursday nights, but we'll go over them real quick. Army looking good, 3-0.
Yeah, Army's good, man.
Yeah, we really like to see Army doing good. Temple not looking good this year, man. Temple's not good, so
Nah, they're not
they
good at
suck.
all. They're not good at all.
Yeah, they suck. They just can't
I
get an
can't
offense
sugarcoat.
going.
Some teams just are really bad, and they're one of them. Man.
Yeah, and I just think transfer portal, they're gonna have to hit that. They could be good next year. We don't know.
Yeah, anybody can be good in 1 year. That's the good and bad part about the transfer portal.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right. So go ahead and let's see here. They're 3-0. We have some teams that are 3-0. UNLV. We'll go ahead and get into the Sluka situation here in a
Oh
minute.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into that in a minute, and then we'll see. But Cowboys Giants. What are your thoughts on the game? You're the expert here.
Our defense played great, not great, pretty well. Outside that one CD Lamb, that's just a great throw too by Dak on that deep ball. Daniel Jones is not great, but he also isn't the biggest problem. I mean, his deep ball needs to get better, but he's not making mistakes the last 3 games. He's giving our team a chance to win. We just got to finish it off when we get in the red zone. So I got to give the Cowboys defense credit for that. Once we got in the red zone, they finally stepped up. We were able to drive it down the field. We outplayed them. I mean, for most of the game. We just couldn't punch it in when we got in the red zone, and that's you ain't gonna win games in the NFL doing that. So we had to find something. I don't know what Dable needs. We need to call some more different plays when we get down there, or what. But it just our run game didn't work either, and the Cowboys were the worst against the run in the league. So our O line's got to do something there. That's how I
Yeah,
feel
I
about our
mean,
side.
I'd say here with Neighbors. I mean, Neighbors is y'all's bright spot. Neighbors is looking good. I like him, man. I do like
Yeah,
Malik Neighbors.
great pick.
I know him and Jalen Daniels made that bet there for Rookie of the Year. They said they had to call it off because they said they didn't want to get in trouble with like gambling or anything. Did you
Oh
see that?
yeah. No, you know how they are in the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid. They should have. Well, I was watching Shannon last night, and he was just like, "That's why you just don't come out public with everything. You can just make that bet between your homie, and
Yeah, for
that
sure.
it could just be at that."
I'm
So
sure it happens all the time.
yeah, I swear. So I
Like
mean,
I have more yards than you this year, man.
right. Right, right. So I mean, all the time, and then, Shannon Sharp said he had a bet with somebody. He was a defensive guy. He said, "I bet I got more touchdowns than you got sacks," and then it was 25 grand. And then Shannon got hurt week 4. The other dude got hurt week 5. So they had a settle. Yeah, they had like a
So that
settlement.
sucks.
Yeah, Shannon was going crazy last night. But I mean, speaking of last night, man, we'll go ahead and get into it. So I mean, pretty much quick wrap up over there. Thursday night game was pretty much the only game on. Army 42-14. I like them, man. 3-0. They said they might be getting a group of 5 bid. They're in play
Yeah.
for the group of 5 bid for the playoff.
If they keep winning, I mean, there's just a lot of years left. There's a lot of games left, man. You still got 8 games, you know what I mean? 9 for them, I mean. Yeah, I just think it's too early for people to be talking about the group of 5 playoff spot. I mean, there's just
I
so many
agree.
games, man. There's so many games. Anything can happen. I mean, I guess you start looking at it, but an injury here, Sluka situation happened somewhere else. I mean, you don't know.
Yep. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, but they just got to talk about something. They got to fill up the time, and that's why I'm glad we're doing our thing. Because when we got, we don't know, But like my only prediction is with Louisville is just because I think Louisville is going to get in because they just said on game day this morning they ain't playing nobody. If they win today against Notre Dame, we're going to go over that sneak peek into our top six. So I mean, if they can get that dub today, then yeah, maybe you talk about they might get in, but that's just because they don't play nobody. That's different. Army is at least gonna have to play some people, a comparison to them because
On
they're in
their
the
skill level,
American,
yeah.
right? Because they're in the American. So, but all right, yeah. Cowboys. Cowboys are good this time of year. I mean, this is their time of year. I've seen some stats with CD Lamb. How CD Lamb he doesn't get a lot of like yards per completion. I think they paid him a little too much. I don't know.
I mean, did you see him? They used him as a running back though. So I don't
Yeah,
know I mean, he plays two positions now. I mean, I got to respect him. He might not be good at running back, but they feed him the ball.
they have to just because they got Zeke so old.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was. I don't know what they were doing with their running back room in the offseason. That's how everybody was thinking, and it's working like everybody thought it was going to. Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott, terrible duo, terrible duo.
I was watching a little bit of the game, and I look, they're going back to the huddle, and I just seen Zeke walking back to the huddle. I'm like, is it 2018?
I mean, it looks like it with him out there. Yeah, it does. He just can't move like he used to at all.
I mean, they have the same team. I mean, Dak and Ezekiel, they've done nothing.
They
What they?
never will. I mean, they never will, man. Dallas
They've
needs to
done
get rid of
nothing.
Dak. I mean, I don't care what the Cowboys fans want to hear it or not. Dak needs to be gone. He just blow it all up, man. It's been 25, 30 years. Blow it up.
I know. I know. I mean, I think McCarthy's their big problem. As a Packer fan, McCarthy's a horrible coach. He's not good.
Yeah, no, he's not good. No, he's not. I agree with
He's
that.
not a good coach.
I agree. I got better when he left, and
I just seen on PFT this week. Supposedly, he was a toll booth worker at one point. I mean, that makes sense.
like when
I don't know.
not after he got fired for the Packers, maybe.
No. Probably
Like
when he was
before
real
that.
young.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
probably when
crazy though. That's
he was
crazy.
real young. But all right, man, we'll go ahead and move into last night's game. Everybody's talking about the play. All right,
Great game.
so yeah, I mean, so we got a lot of people. They said they made that call for ratings just because they wanted Miami at undefeated. I don't think so. If I'll try to get the video pulled up here, but I think if you see at the end of the video, first Cam Ward made a crazy play that I want to show, but. All right, so at the end when he catches it, it kind of reminds me of Packers Cowboys, and they're coming down with it simultaneously. But if you see a Miami player right at the end, he touches the ball and he's out of bounds, so play dead. And I
Okay.
think I think that's what we're looking at here. I'm gonna try to get it pulled up, but I mean, with Virginia Tech, I think they were a little underrated going into the season. I only say that because I like them in college football in the game. Their I like their quarterback. He's good,
He's
but
good,
he's
but
good.
they were supposed to be they were a dark horse to me. A lot of people this year, though, man, the playoffs. So they
Well,
just
that's stupid.
disappointing start to the year. They definitely should not be 2-3. I mean, they lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I don't. If any might think the Hokies are getting in the playoffs with 24, I mean, I don't know. They were just tripping.
Yeah,
But
I had a lot of articles, man. I read a lot of them. That's
yeah,
all
I
I'm saying.
mean,
That's all I'm
doesn't
saying.
sound like a chat GBT, but
But you know how that is. It's probably just for clicks, man.
yeah. So I mean, all right. So they escaped with the win. I'm gonna try to get pulled up here, but while I do it, what do you think about the games? Like, just give me your overall thoughts. Miami, how are they looking? Crystal ball. I know you're a UF fan, but I know you can keep it real. Well,
Yeah.
what are they doing? Are they a real contender? Or they got Cam Ward that people think he's going to win the Heisman if it's not Travis Hunter or somebody else. I don't know. I think it's either him, Travis Hunter, or Cam Ward right now. But what are you thinking of just Miami starting off hot?
It's the worst game they played all year, obviously, and you walk away with the win. Not every game's going to be pretty. I'll give them that. So at the end of the day, you just get the win. They need a better run game. Martinez is a beast. It's just like they don't want to feed him. I think he only got 10 carries. He averaged 6 yards a carry, but they could have been. If they run the ball, time control, offense. They would. Virginia Tech offense was explosive last night, and when that's happening, sometimes you just want to keep the other offense out the field. And maybe Miami could have won this game earlier if they, had more physical offense. But Cameron Ward, yes, great player. I mean, I see what he could do single handedly week one, kicked our ass. Made me a little sad yesterday. Like we could at least competed. Virginia Tech ain't that much better than Florida, but anyways, Virginia Tech's quarterback, Kyron Drones played amazing football. he looked like a little Patrick Mahomes back there. Just the way he was going on the run and all that kind of stuff. And like, that was the best game he's played all year. That's why they were so hyped going into the year because of their quarterback. And then Basil Tootin at running back, man. How about it? He's one of the best running backs in the country, I think. He carried Virginia Tech last night. I think he had 150, 160 rushing yards, and that's always a good game. Shout out Miami though, getting it done. Like I said, that last drive was great. That little dump off when he was about to get sacked. If anybody's seen that, to Riley Williams, he ran like 50 yards, and then that catch by Restrepo on his back too. Man, that last drive just had it all. He had 3 amazing plays. So that's one of those games you remember at the end of the year, especially if Miami, finishes undefeated and goes to the playoff. That's a game you're gonna look back on that last drive. And if Cam Ward is in New York for the Heisman ceremony, you're gonna see that last drive played over and over again.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, no, Cam Ward's good, man. He's really good. I know everybody had their thoughts. He started at Incarnate Word, and then he's not highly touted. Washington State, they've threw the ball around forever. Even back in the day, they've had Minshew throwing it around. I mean, they've always had an air raid offense, so stats are kind of padded there. But no, I feel it. I mean, it's you gotta let them prove it, and when you can't deny it. So I mean, they're balling, and Cam Ward's looking good, man. It's like I said, it's good for college football when Miami's good. It's good for
Yeah,
basketball when the Lakers are good. It's good for the brand, and it's just good for the sport. So right now we got Miami starting off out. Cristobal looking like he's good. There's no really questions about if he's staying or not, and I think that'll kind of unlock us something, another part and another trick in his bag to where he ain't got to worry if he's leaving. He don't have to worry about boosters, breathing down his neck or pulling an IL or anything like that. I think they're looking good, man. And I mean, do I think they're going to win a championship? No, but from what Miami's been the last 5-10 years, I mean, you got to take it. And you got to take it, especially another team that's got to take it, like a Rutgers who we're going to talk about,
man.
undefeated. I mean, we got a lot of teams, man, that's actually looking really good, and I think that it depends on what you like. It's how you like your meat cooked. It's how you like your sweet tea. I don't know how you like your college football. Do you like
Yeah,
it? Do
for
you like it
sure.
being dominant? Do you like it to where nobody or just the good same teams are good every year? Do you like it where it switches up? I'm a fan. And I like it when these new teams are actually going in and balling and they're out here playing. Man, I mean, they're playing for a check. They're playing
Yeah,
for a real check, and I mean, you see these high school players, they're playing for a check. They're trying to get paid, and these other guys are trying to get paid. And I mean, you shouldn't be trying to get paid like Sluka's trying to get paid. Because I mean, we'll
well,
get into that, man. But
yeah,
I really think that everybody wants to say the fabric's broken and the brand's broken. I think there's still good kids out there that's really just wanting to ball out and really wanting to go hard. I think that's been kind of a little bit surprising to me. I think it's easy to kind of get into the narrative where all these kids they're soft now, and you just think everyone's soft. But I think a lot of these kids are actually been balling. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of actually on the college level. I just, especially mid major, if you go group of five, I've been seeing a lot of hard hits, man. They've been
oh,
laying. I mean,
group of 5, man, it's good football in there because they don't got the money that the other guys got. Like you said, they ain't getting paid. If they're getting paid, they're not getting paid nearly as much as the
no.
guy at Tennessee, Texas, Florida, etc. They're getting money still, but they ain't getting paid the same. And I hate that. What's that term about being soft? You're playing football. You're most likely not soft. I don't care, if you bitch a little bit. Maybe, you do that, but you're not soft. If you play football and you're not a kicker, you're not soft. Sorry.
No, no. I mean, and I can remember that. I mean, even if
Softer
you're,
than others, maybe, but.
we see kickers out here that ain't soft. Remember that Penn State kicker?
I
Remember
mean,
that
not
Penn
all of
State
them are.
kicker?
No, I totally agree. Totally
Remember
agree.
that fat Penn State kicker who used to lay that wood on the
Sorry,
kickoff?
yeah, yeah, and maybe I shouldn't even said that. Kickers ain't soft either. They're just small.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, all right. So we'll go ahead and move on from Miami. Like I said, I think they're looking good, man. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, not in the championship, but that doesn't matter. It's okay. They're going to more than likely be in the playoff. It's looking like.
They
I
should be.
mean, yeah. I mean, them and I don't know, but if it probably be them and Louisville for
Yeah,
the conference championship. I mean,
they got a
that's a
business
lot.
Louisville,
That's a
so it should be.
Yeah, that's a lot better than what we've seen out of the ACC in the past. I think the ACC gets a little bit slept on, so we'll see here. But Rutgers, man, going out last night. Like I said, we put it on the ticker here. First time they are undefeated. They are first time being 4-0 since 2012. So I mean, you
Wow.
got Shiano go out there balling, man. I watched a little bit of that game last night. They've been putting up more points, in the previous weeks here. But I mean, when you're in a dogfight, can you really stretch out and build a long drive when you have to, and kind of run the clock when stuff's not going how it's been going the past 3 weeks? And they showed a lot last night. I think Washington's not as good as everyone thought. They got Belichick's son on staff, and they got Belichick like doing like an advisor role for them, and they're still not.
I mean,
We,
they just. To be honest, man, their cupboard's bare right now. I know Jed Fish is gonna be good there. I think he will be good there. But they lost so much to the portal when DeBoer left. Man, all their good players, and then the guys that didn't transfer went to the NFL. So I mean, really, if you look at last year's team compared to this year's team, Washington returning production. I think there's like 10% of the offensive yards returned. Maybe 10%. I looked at the number yesterday. I just can't quite remember, but it was definitely less than 15. Let me say that returning production on offense and defense was about the same. So I mean, you're starting with a whole new team in the new conference, Big Ten teams you're not familiar with. This is what's going to happen, man. Uh, I think give Jed a couple more years. I like what he did at Arizona a lot, but you got to be patient nowadays. I know the portal makes it where people aren't patient, but I still like Jed at Washington. Just give him a little bit. Their quarterback's not good. I don't like Will Rogers. I never liked Mississippi State. He didn't win there. So I think that's the problem. I mean, he didn't have time to get a real quarterback. He tried to get Fafita. Fafita didn't want to leave. So that's what it is at Washington right now, I think.
yeah, and I think with you see those teams get gutted. Like you said, it's a good point. They like you see, they're getting gutted by NIL or the draft or whatever. And like I think you're seeing that with James Madison a little bit. How they just got gutted. They're one of those teams that just got
Still
gutted.
playing great, though.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm just saying, like, how they just had to rebuild on the spot. It works
No,
out for
no, for
some
sure. You're
teams.
right.
It works out for some teams. Some teams can do it, and some teams can't. And I think a lot of these coaches are having to really add another trick in their bag. They're having to add like another skill. I'll get into how the big problem I have with coaches here in a minute. Just recruiting wise, what I'm seeing, just I don't know. I'm seeing the most laziest stuff. And do you want to see it like, okay, am I being old, or are these coaches just using technology now to their advantage to recruit, or are they just being lazy? And I'm saying that because, on our Twitter, where I talked to a lot of prospects that were getting set up for interviews. I just got a confirmation from Kia Jones. Y'all will be hearing about him. He's really good. He just got his first offer from Boston College, first D1 offer. He's young, but I've been talking to him last week, and I see on Twitter all these coaches, they'll just like use Twitter to recruit, and they're just
Yeah.
going. They're just like, "Yo, we're offering today. We're drop your film. We're offering
Yeah.
2026 for today." I'm like, "So are you ever getting in your car and like going into the high school, talking to the kids, talking to the coaches, or are you just dropping your Twitter link and just getting?" And I don't know.
That's
That's
a
another
great question, though. I don't know if they do that anymore.
No, I don't think they're touching road anymore, and we'll talk about it. And they're getting paid more than ever. But we'll
Yeah.
talk about Sluka here in a minute because that kind of plays into it. How you get all these street agents in saying all these verbal, and I'll go ahead and talk on Sluka because this is really just hit me.
Yeah,
When
we keep
stuff,
talking. We keep bringing it up, so I might
yeah,
as well
when
talk
stuff
about it.
when stuff ties together, you're like, okay, it hits, and like, okay, this side's crazy and this side's just like uninformed. It's just like not no one's right here. So it's like really what I'd say is people they say he had a verbal agreement, right? He had a verbal agreement of 100 grand. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good, right? You're wanting that school to uphold that verbal agreement that you all made, right? That you're getting that bag, that
Of
100 grand.
course. Of
Okay,
course.
okay. So verbal agreement. We want them to uphold the verbal agreement. Let's get that established.
That part's
Now,
understandable.
now, when a player is verbally committed, is he on the team? Is he on the team? Is he signed to NIL? Do I have a locker room for him? Do we got his jersey number pick? What is it?
It doesn't mean anything. It means nothing.
When I'm verbally committed, and then I can wake up tomorrow and be unverbally committed and be recommitted to another school, that's okay. But because a lot of people bring it up, and I think that word is dead anyway with committed. There's no committed until you're on the team. And
Sign the paper.
right, and then right, and then let's like, so you're verbally committed, but you want the verbal 100 grand. It's like you can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. If NIL they want everything in writing. If you had to get on the team with writing and NLI National Letter of Intent, you had to sign paperwork to get on the team. You're gonna need your bread on paperwork too to think that verbal was gonna work out. And then a teammate asked aspect of it. Like, I played O line and I played center. If my quarterback just dipped on me week 3, like, nah, I don't
Oh yeah,
know.
we ain't friends at all. Don't talk to me ever. Don't hit me up, bro. Like I'm good
It's
on you. Yeah.
it's just such a bad look. Like, if you're another coach trying to recruit this kid, like he's already went to Holy Cross, so you're already under recruited. You should be thanking UNLV you should be thanking UNLV they took you from Holy Cross. This is NIL where I can go get a quarterback off the street, or I can go get him at JUCO, or I can go get him anywhere now. You can go get a
Well,
quarterback anywhere. They're everywhere. Twitter. I can go get a quarterback off Twitter. That's like
oh,
I'm just saying.
absolutely, absolutely. Somebody getting under recruited right now. That's a dog.
It's not even like that. It's just like how easy it is. Like these coaches are literally tweeting out that they have 4 scholarships. And they're not saying 4, but they're saying we have scholarships for
I've seen
DBs.
that.
And then they're just dropping DBs. They get 100 game tapes in 5 minutes.
Yeah, just watch them all. Oh, I like this one.
Do
No,
they?
something I gotta say about the Suka situation. A lot
Yeah,
of
go ahead.
this is about the support system you have around you. If you have a bad support system around you, they're gonna make you make. It, what I read, it was his family that said they wanted more money, not him. So a lot of this times it's about a support system and how good and bad they are. If you got a bad support system, this can happen to you. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents about it. The bottom line is it's about your support system, your coaches, not necessarily not as important as your family and friends, but an agent. They let him down, in my opinion. His family and his agent let him down. But also, I like he's back up a lot. Hodge Malik Williams transferred from Campbell. I think he keeps the train rolling in UNLV. I don't think they miss a beat.
Oh! They're gonna win. They just gave him a shout out today on game day. I'm glad you said it. Yeah, the Campbell transfer. I
Hodge
like him.
Malik is a beast.
Yeah, I like him. I remember him last year. He was their only like good player last year. Campbell was supposed to be good last year. They just weren't. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I totally agree. They're going to rally around that dude. What? That you're so pretty much just had a quarterback who was not committed on the team and not bought in. Then you got this guy who's probably 110 bought in. Like, oh man, they're going to rally. They're going to probably win. But we'll go ahead and get into our games. Yeah, Sluka. I don't see how another school takes another school. Like, what are they going to look at this and say? Are they going to
And
look?
to be honest, he can't even throw. He's a runner only. Look, have you seen his stats?
Yeah, I know. I seen his film. He just runs like
He can't
yeah.
throw.
You can do that for a little bit, but like it's not sustainable. One, and you should be thanking your stars you're playing for UNLV. You played for Holy Cross.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. I know. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. They could have had a great year too. And I hope. I don't ever like to wish bad on kids, man. So I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say. I'm taking it back.
Yeah, no,
I
I
take it back.
feel it.
I
I
take
feel
it
it.
back.
No, like I said, hopefully he just learns from it. I mean,
Yes, exactly, exactly. I hope he, I hope he still makes it back, and I hope he learns from it though. Exactly. I hope something happens where he learns from it. But I still wish him the best, man. Because like I said, I still blame the support system, his family, his elders. They're
yeah.
just greedy, man. They're greedy.
Well, the only argument I would say he has, the only argument to where it's like, all right, maybe is just because he's not an NFL guy. This is maybe his last time to get paid ever.
Definitely not. I can't fucking throw.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, he's not good. So, all right, we'll go ahead and get into our pick six games for the week 5. All right, we got a good slate. Last week's slate lived up to the potential. We got a couple teams in here that are making repeats, like you said. I think a lot. I don't know. I don't know if that's just because they're so good or just maybe the scheduling.
Play
But
some
I don't know.
football, baby.
Yeah, let's get it.
It's gonna be a
Let's get
great
it. So,
day. It's gonna be a
so
great
all
day.
right, man. We got a lot of games looking up here. This was really hard to crack down. We were down to our last, we had 4 games here for our last slot. I'll go ahead and say Arkansas and Texas A&M was really that last team that got in here. Another couple of these games. A lot of people thinking Ole Miss and UK today. I think that's still going to be a good game, but it could still not be a good game. I
Yeah, I
just
don't like
think
Kentucky on the road as much as at home, man. Their defense doesn't travel without that crowd, really.
Yeah, I like you. Give me UK at night at Commonwealth. If it's not that, then I don't know. So, but I mean, they still could still make it a game, but I just didn't feel comfortable. I don't think it's a top 6 game this week. But okay, we'll go ahead and start it off. Kansas State, Oklahoma State. My opinion, fade Oklahoma State. I think they're due. They've been scraping by all year, barely getting in, barely. Like they'll put a quarter together right at the end, and they'll get a couple good drives, and the other team will shoot themselves on the foot, and then they'll win. But just go through a quick rundown, then we'll chop these up individually. Louisville there, Notre Dame going at Notre Dame, probably one of their last big tests of the year. Notre Dame seeing if they can defend home. We'll see how the weather's looking there at most of these games, especially at UCF. But all right, then we got this pretty loaded lineup here for 3:30. I kind of like to stagger them with times here, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. 3:30,
Yeah.
it's looking packed. Hopefully, you got a good setup to watch your games. So yeah, everybody's inside. It's been raining. A lot of high school games were flooded out last night. You can show on our page on Instagram a couple of
Oh man.
those schools that were really flooded out crazy. So Notre Dame, I don't know, we'll see, but Arkansas, Texas A&M,
Big game.
I think that's going to be a really good game. I think. I don't. We'll get into our picks, but then we
Always a
got
good game.
then we got
Those teams play. It's a good game every year. So.
yeah, SEC, you got to take, especially when those teams in the SEC that are not upper echelon that need these wins. They need these conference wins. One of the only few they might get.
Yeah, for sure, man. Huge game for both sides.
And then it's SEC, so it's like if they do get that win, they could start rolling.
It's a big win automatically too. It's just a big win, yeah, for momentum. Any win in the SEC, it's not Kentucky. I mean, not Vanderbilt. It's a huge win for momentum and morale. So yeah, big game today for both of those teams.
And I do want to give a shout out to G. You want to give a shout out to Gage. He called Vanderbilt being a little bit better than normal Vanderbilt before the year, which they have.
I
been
like
a little
them
bit
too. Diego Pavia.
Yeah, I like him. So, all right, Colorado, UCF. We'll see how the weather's looking there. But do they play inside UCF or no?
Nah, the bounce house.
The bounce house. Oh yeah, the space. Yeah, they do the space stuff, and they on
Yeah,
college football.
it's going to be a tough environment for them Buffaloes, and you know how people love to hate them. Their crowd's going to show up full force. I think. I don't think the weather's going to bother them. I haven't checked the Orlando weather, anyways. I don't know. It might already be past that area because the Miami game wasn't bad last night.
Yeah. Well, I think there was an issue with the scores online because I was looking at the score and it didn't update past the second quarter, so I thought it got postponed until I had to actually bring up the game. But so UCF, we'll see. I know, like you said, everybody likes to hate on them, but I think we'll see. Yeah, good weather. I know last night, because on UCF, they don't play inside because if you play with them on the game on College Football 25, if you play them at home, they'll have rocket ships,
Oh yeah,
you know.
they shoot those rockets off. I think.
Yeah, well, they have the NASA, the NASA stuff.
Yeah, it's right there. When I lived down there, I could see them going over the island. I could see them when they did it at night. It was cool, man.
Yeah, We'll see. We'll see. Gus Malzahn. We'll see if he gets a dub. But okay, we got a rivalry here. It's usually a bigger rivalry there on the hardwood, which is about to start up here soon. But we got UNC and Duke. I think it's going to be a good game. And then figuring it up here, really just the finale of tonight. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're inside, outside, you're probably going to be watching Georgia Bama tonight. So Georgia Bama. We'll go into that. So let's go ahead and start off with Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Who you think comes out on top? Who you think's going to get the dub?
Both teams coming off a loss. Start there. So it's just both teams are in desperation mode already. Really, you don't want to have more than 2 losses. So if you lose this game, it's the last game you're going to lose, especially in conference play. Both teams look bad last week too, man. I was like both teams before last week, but that's college football, man. 1 week can change your opinion on a team. Kansas State was outscored 31-6 in 5 minutes last week against BYU. BYU might be legit. But that's still ugly. Avery Johnson needs to bounce back. He's played terrible last week. And then Oklahoma State, man, Alan Bowman benched last week, brought back in, almost led the comeback. What a weird quarterback. What a weird career he's had. Ollie Gordon can't get nothing going. I don't know. The same O-line as last year, same running back. I don't know what's going on with the run game. You don't think he's good, or last year was a fluke? What do you think about Ollie Gordon and the run game?
You can't let your player drive drunk and then expect him to drive all the way down the field too. I just think that's karma.
That's very fair, man.
I think it's karma one, and it's really hard preseason. Not even preseason. They had this dude tapped as the best in the nation a year and a half ago, upcoming. And I just think it's hard to really predict the best running back of these season. Every running back's the most unpredictable. I know it's it's easy just because they maybe have a 99 on college football, but I don't know. Running back is always hard to really predict. But Oklahoma State. Do I think they get it done? I mean, like you said, Gents made a good point. They're coming off losses. Do I think they're gonna really get the win and really go to? I think was it Norman? Are they really gonna go to Norman and get the dub? I don't know. I don't think they're gonna. But Kansas State, they have a really good quarterback. They have a really good O line, like they've always had. But Oklahoma State, I don't know. I'm just kind of off on their whole like brand, as in like Gundy. Gundy's been there like 25 years, and he just really hasn't done anything big. Anytime it's a big game, he'll win all the little ones, and then when the big ones come, he'll barely lose. And then when that happens, that he barely saves his job, and then he's there for another year. So I don't know. We'll see what Oklahoma State does as Gundy rally the crew. Do they? I don't know. We'll see. Adam, like you said, Alan Bowman. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. And I like to little Andy Dalton at Bowman there. I'd like to talk about that's what I call him, little Andy Dalton. We'll get into Andy Dalton here in a minute, but yeah, I don't know. I think Oklahoma State loses. I think they're going to lose. I'd say by 3. It's going to be a real close one, and we'll see here. Um, I know with Louisville and Notre Dame, I think that's going to be a better game. It sucks that you have. I would rather see one of these 3:30 games be on the noon, and then you switch that Oklahoma State with go. Switch them because 3:30 is just so packed. So, but no, I guess we'll go ahead and get to the pick here with that game. I'm going to go ahead and take Kansas State, but I think it's going to be a close one, like I said. And I think what we're going to do here is really see a good old backyard brawl like we're going to see with Georgia Bama. So yeah, I'll go ahead and move on here. Then we'll go ahead and go to get Louisville and Notre Dame. So biggest thing with Louisville and Notre Dame, like I said, Louisville doesn't really play anybody. Notre Dame always loses big games. They always lose the big one if it's cold out, or if it's late in the season because they're not in a conference. So they always have to really win out and they have to look good when they win. So I don't know. I think Louisville will win. Do I think it'll be close? Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of close games today. That's pretty cliche on today. That's pretty good narrative. If you want to go ahead and place your bets. Um, with the weather everywhere and just a lot of these teams coming off really close games the week before, I'd take the under if you're a betting man in a lot of these games. If you're betting, I'd take the under on a few of these games. But we'll go ahead and get through here with Louisville Notre Dame. I do like Louisville. I think they just got too much offensive. They just got a little bit too much weapons. I am biased though, not with Louisville, just on Notre Dame. I don't like their coach. I think Freeman is just not a good fit for them, and they need to really just clear house in a little different way. I don't think their quarterback situation is working as good as they thought it would. So yeah, I think that's the lowdown there. But what do you think, Gent, on first Oklahoma State and Kansas State? Who's your pick on that game?
Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. I'm gonna get a Wi-Fi booster this week, man. It just kicks me off every time we're on here after like 30 or 40 minutes. I
It's all good. It's
apologize.
all good.
But let's go here. I like Kansas State too. Just their home. I would pick the home team here. Either way, because they know each other a lot. They play each other every year. Same coaches forever, seemingly. I like Kansas State by 7. I think Avery Johnson gets it done, and their defense is just always good, man. And I don't trust Oklahoma State, Bowman, or Ollie Gordon. Neither one ever really get it done this year. So let me give me Kansas State by 6.
By
6 points.
6, okay. You got. I think they're going to get it by 3, not because of Kansas State so good or Oklahoma State so bad. I just think the gap is not too big on them. It's just enough though, to get the
Yeah,
dub.
for
So
sure. I mean, it could be closer too, and I wouldn't even be shocked if this Oklahoma State wins either. Really.
okay,
Louisville Notre Dame. Okay. Oh wow. This is a tough pick for me, man. Because I want to pick Louisville, and I don't even like Louisville, but I don't like Notre Dame at all. So I'm biased too. But I want to pick Louisville. Everything tells me to pick Louisville, but I can't. Like I don't think they're gonna. I can't pick them, man. I don't know why. I just don't think they could beat Notre Dame 2 years in a row. Something about it, man. I hope I'm wrong though. Tyler Suck's been playing great ball. He's been playing great ball. The defense is playing good. Last week they had special teams and defensive touchdown. So if, all 3 phases are contributing right now. They just need to play good against. If they stop the run, they will win. But
yeah.
I could see Riley Leonard going off on the ground because Haynes King had a great game yesterday, last week on the ground. They just couldn't throw it really. So watch out. I like Notre Dame by about 3. Only about 3 though. I like this game's closer than the Kansas State game. I think it comes down to the wire. Notre Dame kicks a field goal on the last drive even.
Okay. No, I like that. I like that. I would say the biggest thing, like you said, Notre Dame 2 years in a row is hard. If Jeff Brom can go 2-0 against Notre Dame as soon as he takes that job at Louisville, that's big. And I mean, he's already the guy, obviously, for them, and he's probably going to be there for a long time. But I would say just off this fact that I think Louisville's going to win. If Reggie Bonifant can take Louisville on the road and get them a dub, I think Shuck can do it.
I mean, that's fair.
I think that's a fair thing to say, just because that Louisville team wasn't good, and obviously I think they're kind of similar in the talents this year. I know that was so long ago, but that's just the first thing that comes to my mind with Louisville and Notre Dame. Like, if that dude can go in there and get the dub at Notre Dame, I think pretty much anyone can. If you don't turn the ball over, if you don't, get defensive touchdowns, special team touchdowns, some crazy stuff that we're going to see today in some of these games. Some of these games are going to have a wild finish. Obviously, it's easy to default to Colorado and to UCF to having that crazy game. That's just Colorado's brand. I mean, fourth quarter blockbuster team.
Every game's close.
If it's a fourth, I mean, I wonder what their ratings and their views are in their fourth quarter. I mean, every game in there, they're so good. We'll get to that game here. We're not going to skip this Arkansas Texas A&M, because I do think it's going to be good. I think KJ Jefferson gets the dub. Kyle Field,
KJ Jefferson.
Oh yeah, not KJ Jefferson.
So that's the next game, man.
Yeah, no, that's next game. No, I'm sorry, I'm trying to skip ahead. No, I want to talk about.
He used to play there though, so that's a fair mistake.
I want to talk about Colorado game. I want to talk about Colorado game a lot. But okay, they got the new quarterback. They're starting
Taylor Green.
Yeah, Taylor Green. They're starting him. I like him too, though. He's really good. I think he's people are going to call him a game manager, but I just think he's getting his rhythm and he's mobile. But it's weird in college. You can see a mobile game manager.
Yeah, I just don't think he's accurate with the ball. I like him. I like him. He's fast. He can run. I just don't think he's accurate with the football. I watched him play a couple games this year already, and I just don't love his arm talent. But I do like his makeup. I like his makeup, and I like that he can run. I just like running quarterbacks. So I just wish he could get some more efficiency.
No, I think the biggest thing how I'm just kind of leaning with them is because with Coach Bobby Petrino, he's just real good at like hiding the weaknesses of his quarterbacks. If the quarterback's not can throw the deep ball, he's going to throw intermediate routes. He's going to throw screen routes. So I think that's the biggest thing with Bobby Petrino. He knows how to work his quarterbacks. That's one thing I got to give him. I think he's a horrible person. That's another thing. If anybody knows anything about Bobby Petrino knows that. But I would say with his quarterbacks, he really is good at kind of masking their insufficiencies and really like able to highlight their talent. So, but it's a flip of a coin. Like I said, this is one of those games where you're not going to appreciate the game until it's halfway through. All these other games are kind of finishing up, and this one's straight dogfight fourth quarter. That's Texas A&M and Arkansas. They're people watch them
always
when they
every time
to.
they play.
People watch them when they have to.
It's a little rivalry game. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing we're going to see. And I know that's a good rivalry game just because they're always been big programs, and there's
they used to be in the Big 12 back in the day.
Right, and then back then, Texas A&M was in the Big 8.
The Southwest Conference or something after that too. Yeah, it was all they were together for a while before Arkansas left for the SEC.
Yeah, I think they were in. I don't know for sure if they were with SMU back in the Pony Express days. I don't know.
I'm not sure either, but
Texas A&M. But
I just thought they play each other forever every year. A&M's not gonna lose 2 games at home, are they?
That's what I was
like
saying.
In a row. They already lost to Notre Dame. Who they lose to Notre Dame at home week 1?
Yeah. But that's what I was thinking. Like, I just don't think Kyle Field has got like that vibe like right now. I think I'm not calling their fans fake or anything because all their games are going to be fat. All their games are going to be fat.
I've been to a game there and it was it was against Alabama though. Of course, you're going to get up for that game.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm not questioning it on it being packed. It's kind of like Rupp Arena in basketball with UK.
Right, because people are going to be there, but how loud are they going to be? Is the question, right? People are going to be in the stands, but are they going to be talking or are they going to be yelling?
Exactly. Is that going to be like a hard environment? Like, I think Texas A&M is a hard environment when they're 5-0 against Bama.
Hell yeah, I want to play there.
That's what I'm saying. It's just I'm not calling their fans fake. I'm not saying they don't roll out because they do, but I'm just saying like that place is not a hard place to play year round every single game. So I'll go ahead and give me Arkansas in a really close one. I could see myself being wrong in this one, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. Just because who knows? You got a new quarterback, and Does he come out there and wet the bed? Does he come out there and ball out? We'll see. But who do you think wins here? Razorbacks and Aggies.
I'd like to know who A&M's quarterback is. I don't even know yet. Still, game time decision on the Wagman, Marcel Reed. I actually like Marcel Reed better for the offense. I've seen him play against my guys at Florida. He just couldn't stop him at all, man. He adds another dimension to the offense with his legs. Quarterbacks that can run are just more scary, man, especially in college level. NFL, not necessarily. But college level quarterbacks that can run, get outside the pocket, really stretches the defense. If he plays, I like A&M. If they start Wegman, I'm going Arkansas. So there you go. It all comes down to the quarterback. I think the backup's better. Sometimes the coaches won't play him just because this guy was that. Wegman. I'm sure you've heard the hype about him, but he hasn't produced ever, and he can't stay healthy, man. He can't stay on the field. The most important thing. I think give Marcel Reed the rest. Let him play the rest of the year. See what you got next year. See if you need a quarterback or not. I like A&M if he plays. If not, giving Arkansas and Taylor Green to cover.
Okay, I like that. Now, like if I want to say about Wegman, Connor Wegman's just a poor man's Cade Klubnik, and you can't even be that.
I
you,
swear.
I didn't know
I
the.
swear.
I didn't
It's
know a
sad.
poor. I didn't know a poor man's Cade Klubnik even existed. But
Oh, it's not a good thing, man. I'm glad I wouldn't want to be called that.
no, no.
But hey, he's a starting quarterback in the SEC. I'll give it to him. But damn,
No, no. Okay, so yeah, okay. I like that though. I like the pick, like you said.
that's what.
It's a toss up game, one of the biggest toss up games. So all right, yeah. I mean, like I said, you got a first good three slate here. So 3:30, like you said, it's gonna be rocking and rolling. But from 3:34 and 7:30, man, we'll go ahead and start. It's Coach Prime. Is he gonna get the dub at UCF? I mean, we've seen UCF have a good team year in and year out. Every single year, Gus Malzahn has built a program there, and I mean, they're only relevant because of them in the recent years. I mean, they had Blake Bortles back then, but other than that, man, they have really been not that relevant. So UCF, Colorado. With the weather there, I don't think. Like I said, Jim mentioned that here. I do think the weather is maybe kind of past. I think we'll be good on that, which is good. But as for the game itself, man, I'm going with Shadur. Why? Because I think he's the best quarterback in the nation. Honestly, like he's the best pro prospect for sure. If you want to say best quarterback, whatever, he's the best pro prospect. Then they got Travis Hunter, who is the best player. I think the best player in the whole nation. And when you got the best player in the whole nation on your team, you can almost, if you have a chance to beat anyone you play. If you it's like that, it's just Jimmys and Joes over the X's and O's. Coach Prime is not Nick Saban in a he hasn't had like crazy success in like a X's and O's, and he's not a guru on the play calling standpoint. He's just got that vibe with him, and he's a master motivator. So when you add that with having the best player in the nation, man, you can upset pretty much anyone. So I want to go ahead and say, I mean, I want to take Colorado, and they really disrespected them with points. 15 points, I think that was the highest it was. I think it's probably dropped a little bit. People starting to come back down to earth just with them. I mean, you can't give another team 50 points, especially you're coming off a Hail Mary win. If you're coming off a Hail Mary win, then I mean you got it. You have momentum. If you play the game of football, you have momentum after a big play. I remember one time we scored on a last second touchdown, and we scored on a Hail Mary, and we barely won. And it wasn't the last play of the game like Shadur, but we had momentum going to the next game. Any team that has big plays at the end of the game, like you're saying, Miami coming off a game defining play at the end, you don't think they're going to have momentum next week? Like it's just natural. You're going to have momentum, and then when you're not rolling hot, you're going to come out the gates not that hot. So, but Colorado, man, they're just the talk of the town, talk of the whole nation, really. I really like Colorado in this one. I think they're going to get it done. Their defense is balling out. They really clamp down in the second half, too. They don't give up any really points in the second half. So I really think they'll come out and they'll be big. Well, UCF is going to do good though. They are really good at running the ball. But they haven't played anyone. That is the argument that they have. I mean, we want to talk about how a few of these other teams don't play anyone. Colorado opened up with the FCS team. They struggled, and all these other teams, Colorado State, they aren't good after the fact, but before the game, they're good. Like people switching their narrative. UCF hasn't really played anyone either. They're running it down everyone, and they're running it up and down the field, but they haven't played anyone. So Give me Colorado. I won't harp on it too long. Or like I said, we're probably going to see a big second half, big fourth quarter, probably big from Shadur. So yeah, I think that's what we're looking at here. I don't really like giving exact scores. I'm not really into that, just because it can be a dogfight. Whatever it is, though, I would just take the under. Just because of the coming off a short week there, some of the coming off the weather. A lot of these teams just are looking to identify of what they can run and what they can't run when they got these big matchups. So they're really just going to have to. There's a lot of feeling out, and Colorado doesn't really start heavy anyway. They don't really score a lot in the first quarter. So go ahead and give me Buffs. So we'll go ahead and move on to Duke, North Carolina. Big rivalry here. Only got about an hour apart from the two schools. Duke's looking good. Malik Murphy at quarterback for Duke. They've been really surprising. Like I've mentioned in the past, them Kansas were really supposed to be kind of equal there, but looks like they're way better than Kansas this year. I don't think Kansas didn't Lightpulp didn't expect the start he's having there. So, but Mac Brown. Does he answer? Does he come back? He retired it, then he unretired. Mac Brown's taken over from Mac Brown. He's back coaching. They said he retired after the game because he got beaten so bad by James Madison. I mean, they got scored 70 points on the week before and lost. So I don't think they want that to happen again, especially against their rival. That's almost the worst time, or it's the best time to get blown out. It depends what type of team you are. You got some dogs on your team. That's when you see if you got blown out. You got blown out by the week before. Are you going to come back and you got the hated rivalry up the street the next week? Yeah, they're either going to come out really hot or really bad. I don't know which one. I can't say. Duke being at home with it being such a close proximity of the schools, the distance, I don't think the home field will matter too much. So that we love these games, man. That's like it's on our top six here. So as a pick, man, got to give you a pick. I'm gonna go. I'm going to go with North Carolina. Why? Because I think North Carolina is going to run that ball all day long. They're going to run the ball. They got a stud. When you got a stud and you're coming off of a game that really showed your weaknesses, you really want to stick to your bread and butter, stick to what you're good at, and stick to stuff that you know is going to work. So I think they're going to run the ball all game. When they run the ball all game, they'll go ahead and run that clock down. Then they're going to force Duke to kind of run up tempo and kind of run faster than they have, just because of time and just because they want to go ahead and get a rhythm. You have to be in a rhythm to score points. You can't the points just don't show up on the scoreboard. You have to get in the rhythm. You have to get a drive together. Yeah, you might get a lucky 6 here and there, but when the other team's milking the clock, you got to have a solid game plan too. And when you're back up against the wall, some teams are built for that, some teams aren't. So I like North Carolina, not by a lot. I mean, I'm not too confident in it coming off that loss, but that's the reason why I'm picking them, is because they're coming off that loss. So give me them, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the big game here: Georgia, Alabama, Milroe, Beck, Kirby. Facing his old school. He's not facing Saban, obviously. He's up in the booth, but Saban's back on campus for the first time since he's been, been coach there, since he's retired. And he's still an advisor role. He's been on campus, but this is the first time, he's there during a game. He's obviously doing game day, was tuning in that earlier this morning. And, they're excited to have him on. I mean, Saban's the man. So Saban's like Tom Brady. Everybody's kind of like appreciating him, after he's gone, just because I guess they don't have to play him anymore. But it's going to be a big game, man. I don't think Carson Beck's that good, honestly, just as a pro prospect. But he's a good, decent college quarterback, and as long as he's in college, he's probably going to do all right at least. So go ahead and I'd say give me Alabama. I did make a bet here on this game, and I accidentally picked both teams on 2 separate bets. So I hedged myself. It's called hedging, and I'm dumb, but I guess I won't lose on that one. So, but I'm definitely going to lose one of them. So, yeah, that's cool. Don't do that. Look at your bet slip. I mean, I've made some dumb mistakes like that this year. I'm just trying to get it in, and I try to get my bet in and close it out, and let it ride. So, so I don't know, but if you're going to put money on this game, I would rock with Bama. Why? Just because they're at home. Saban's in the house. And this Bama team is I said it on last week's show here. You don't want to be the first bad Bama team in 10 years, 15 years. You don't want to be the first one. there is a standard they've had to upheld. This is like the same. This is pretty much the same pressure as coming off a national championship. This is pretty much I mean, without the good stuff. This is all this. It's all pressure. Are you really going to uphold this tradition? And they didn't even win last year. And Alabama wasn't even as Alabama as we're used to seeing last year. So I mean, I don't know. I think the biggest thing here you got to take into Milroe and him be able to stretch the field and him be able to keep your defense on the heels. Like we said, and like Jen said, there a mobile quarterback will have in a defense guessing. And do you have the firepower and do you have the offensive power to go ahead and kind of combat that? And can you really run your game, and with put all the emotions and all the pageantry aside, can you really show up and play ball? So we'll go ahead and get the picks here, and I'll go ahead and run through them. I got Oklahoma State, then I got Louisville, then I got Arkansas. Give me Colorado, North Carolina, and Georgia. Or no, North Carolina, Alabama. Sorry. See, I'm already messing up. Give me Alabama. It's going to be a close one, though, man. I don't think this Georgia team is just the same Georgia team we've seen. They don't have pros everywhere. They do, but they're not like we've seen. They're pros in the making. It's not like we've seen these last Georgia teams. They're just not. The Carson Beck is a game manager. I think those big games really prove that. When you have to run a hard, when it's 3rd and 6 and you need the first down and they know you're passing, are you going to get the ball there? Are you going to run that hitch? Are you going to throw the ball on time on your third step? Are you going to drop back and hit your receiver in stride? Like, I don't know. We'll see. So I want to go ahead and go over our last few here and go ahead. And that is really wrapping it up for college. So top 6 games. We always pick 6 matchups that we think are the best. We feel like we did that this week. I think last week, it really lived up to the hype. I think this week will too. So we'll go ahead and move on to NFL. NFL, we do have a full slate. It's in full swing. I don't even want to hype it up, honestly, just because it's been so bad this year. Like, it's just been just not good as a product. I don't know. There's a lot of factors. Are the defenses really good? Is it the rules? Are the rules just not making it to where they can't play their full game and they're having to adjust and learn to play different? What is it? What is it? What is really the problem at hand that we have here with the NFL? I think it's a multitude of things. I think adding the 17th game really hurt a lot of pockets there, just in the sense of not pockets because they're making more money, but I really think it hurt just the product of the game and no preseason. You don't have any preseason anymore, then you lost a lot of reps, and they already, since the new CBA has been in place, they're already not hitting a lot at practice. They're not getting a lot of reps. These joint practices in the summer aren't as physical as they used to be. And if anyone play the game knows that you need to, what they call, build that callus. You need to play and you need to get those reps in when the season's not in full swing. You gotta get your identity before the season. You got to see who you're going to be your guy before the season. Who's your breakout rookie before the season? Now, obviously, football is unpredictable, and every sport is, and stuff's going to happen throughout the year. But you got a good general idea of who your guys are, but going into the season and who's going to produce. But when you're not on the field in preseason, you're not on the field in OTAs, and you're doing ayahuasca like Aaron Rodgers out there wherever he's doing it, and you're not with your team, you're not building that camaraderie. I know these guys are the best in the world, and I get it, they are, but they still have to, you have to still be a craftsman. You still have to perfect your craft every week, every year. It doesn't matter because the young guys are coming up. They're trying to take your spot, and these old guys still have to come in and ball. They have to come in and really prove that they're worth all this money. They're handing out more money than ever, and we're seeing more injuries than ever, and they're playing less, like as in reps. So make it make sense. There's a disconnect here. A lot of people say, if you see a lot of doctors, they're saying they're just not training that hard in the off season. So when they come in, they're out of shape and their muscles aren't used to the rigor and their muscles aren't used to the stress that you're putting under, what it takes to play football. And that's when we're seeing a lot of injuries. So I'll go ahead and stop ranting here, but I just think that's really what plays into a lot of the product here, along with bad quarterback play. So a lot of the college game is becoming the NFL, and the NFL is becoming the college game in so many ways. But the college game, I think a lot of the bad. I think we're getting a lot of the bad from one, and not enough of the good from the other one. Where we're crossing these things, a lot of things with rules that we can get into, like when you're going to start the clock when the ball's dead, a pass interference call in the NFL. If you get a pass interference call, it's from the spot of the foul, wherever that was. That's where we're taking off. That's where the ball's being placed. In college, it don't matter if you're on the 20-yard line, and if I interfered with the pass on the other 20, you're only getting 15 yards. So a lot of those rules need to be switched and more universal to, I think, where there's less of a transition period when they get to the league. So, but we'll go ahead and get into these games. We got Saints Falcons. We've already finished up here. Like, we've already went over our Thursday game with the Giants and Cowboys, and then we'll go over our lone Monday night game at the end. So I've been really reluctant on even covering covering NFL this week, or maybe for the season, just because it's so bad. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm obviously want to talk ball just because I like talking ball, but the NFL is just not where it needs to be right now. But I think it will be, and I think it'll get better. So, and as the season goes on, like I said, adding that 17th game is just added, I'd say, another like 2 weeks of ramp up period. So we got Saints and Falcons. I don't know about Kamara and Carr. I know Derek Carr, he balls out right at this time of the year, and then he kind of fades as the season goes on. With the Falcons, I think the Falcons are hot. They got multiple weapons. They got a good receiver. They got a good tight end. They got a good running back. But all those three guys, they got Kirk Cousins, but with Bijan Robinson, and they got Drake London, and then they got the tight end Pitts. All those guys, they just don't play good at the same time. If they can get those guys to play good at the same time, they can ball out and score a lot of points. So, but as a pick, I think the home field will play advantage in here. Atlanta always plays pretty solid at home. That's when they get their big wins. Give me Atlanta in a close one, and I'm not going to give you a score there on that one. I don't really like doing scores, like I said. So I will go ahead and take the Birds there. Give me the Birds. And I'd say in a close one, I'd say about 3, definitely under a touchdown. I'd say about at the most a touchdown. So go ahead and give me them, and then we'll move on to the revenge game. A lot of people saying Andy Dalton's going to go ahead and get the dub against Burrow. Burrow came off a good game passing, but they're still haven't got a win. And Burrow, it's not looking good in Cincy. They've never been good at the start of the season, so not trying to overreact too much, but I just don't think this is the Bengals team. They lost a lot of locker room guys. They lost Mixon. They lost Bates. They lost Boyd. So I don't know if they'll be able to really piece it together. I like Burrow sometimes to a fault. I think a lot of people do just give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been hurt and this and that. His O-line's been bad, but I don't know. You can't knock out these revenge games, as you can see. I mean, we've already had Malik Willis go into Nashville last week with the Packers and get his dub against his old team. So I don't know if they'll be able to get it done. The Panthers are just too bad. It's different. Malik Willis went into it. He's got a playoff team around him. So go ahead and give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals in a close one, closer than it should be. So yeah, give me them, and they'll go ahead and get the dub and get that first win. And then we're going to go ahead with the Rams and the Bears. This is a hard one. The Rams, they still haven't got Puka Nacua back. Their second year wide receiver who went off his first year as a rookie had probably one of the best rookies years we've seen. But it was kind of, if CJ Stroud wasn't balling out last year, that year would have been even more highlighted than it was, but it was still a great year. So Bears, are they going to go ahead and put it all together on the field this week and get their dub? I don't know. I don't think Caleb Williams is that guy. I think he's trying to still play college football out there. There's a lot of the game of college that can transfer to the NFL, but I don't think a lot of what he does can, unfortunately. So I will go ahead and stick with the Rams. It's hard. I mean, it's a hard one with Soldier Field. It's going to get popping in there. They want their win bad. They want it bad. And I think with the Rams, Stafford, he's just one of the best ball spinners there is, man. And with the quarterback play being down, it makes him just look so much better. Same thing with CJ Stroud, Aaron Rodgers. A few of these guys that are looking so good, and yeah, because they're good, but it's really most because so many other people are looking bad. So go ahead and give me the Rams. I'm just as comfortable with that as I am with the Falcons game. And I know it's a toss up right there. So, but there's a lot of good games here, man. Revenge games. We got rivalry games. So rivalry games, starting with the Packers and the Vikings. I mean, the Vike Dogs, they're going to go ahead and get it done. I'm a Packers fan, but I try to keep it real. I mean, this is the scariest Vikings team we had in a long time to face. Brian Flores has really got them guys playing at a high level, and you could tell they got a good, camaraderie. And a lot of that plays in with what they did in the preseason. They more than likely, like obviously I wasn't there, I don't have access, but I bet you they had a physical and a hard camp because Flores don't play around. So I bet you they had a good camp where they got more of their reps in. They got their identity. They were seeing who they were, and that's they're rolling with that, and they know what they're good at. Sam Darnold's playing the best. He's making the Jets look like the Jets. I want to look. I'm going to do a deep dive in here this week. I'm going to do a real hard comparison between the Jets' tenure with Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. See how many snaps they really played. I don't know. I feel like they didn't give Wilson maybe as much snaps, but I want to see how many attempts and yards. Really, just break that down. I'm gonna do a deeper dive into that this weekend. So we'll have that next week, especially if they come off a win, and that'll play a part too. So, but we'll see. I will say with Sam Darnold, man, he's really good. He's a guy that you know that like Jordan Jefferson said, it's like catching a pillow in his hand. It's his life's never been easier, and when you got a kind of relief there with the best wide receiver in the game, now having this is his best quarterback he's ever had. And he's already been able to level himself as the best wide receiver in the game without a quarterback like this. And you give him a quarterback that can really spin it and that has a high IQ and that's already played in so many systems. He's got so much wisdom. It's really hard to knock them out, especially when you don't shoot yourself in the foot. A lot of those teams that have the pieces they have, they get penalties. They turn the ball over. They don't score in the red zone. A lot of things like that kind of shoots them in the foot. So, but they haven't done it. I mean, they're really good. I'm a Packers fan. Do I think we're going to win? I hope so. Do Malik Willis going to get 3 wins in a row? I mean, I know they're one Jordan Love to play, but I think you should set him out another week, run the same thing you've been doing and seeing if you can ball out another week. And honestly, if you come up short, yeah, it's not fun, but you're not at full strength. So obviously, we want the dub every week. But as a pick and as being given my unbiased opinion, I'm gonna go. I want to pick them just because they're at Lambeau, and it's so hard to win there. But Flores has really got them boys playing really good. This is a hard game, and I think I'm gonna go. Minnesota wins, and I think, and I'm gonna call the Packers losing off a field goal. I think we'll miss a kick because that's how we lose. I think we'll miss the kick and we'll lose, and we'll be back full strength with J Love moving forward. So that's my pick. I'm sticking to it. I think won't be surprised if we win. Honestly, just if we run the same thing we've been doing last year, keep the ball out of their hands and mistake free football. So that's how you win in the NFL. So we'll see, man. But we'll go ahead and move on with another matchup here. We got a really actually good matchup with NFL. They do always do a good scheduling job, but sometimes it just I don't know, but we'll see. A lot of the thing it starts off with Thursday night. We have such bad Thursday night games, and it just trickles over. But we got Jacksonville here in Houston, C.J. Stroud, and then Sunshine here. Trevor Lawrence, is he really going to get the dub? Is he really going to go on the road at Houston, especially Houston coming off a bad performance? They need to win bad. They're not on a losing streak per se. They've only lost one, but the loss wasn't good. So we'll see. We'll see if they can get it. I like the Texans in this one. I think Doug Peterson's going to be gone after this season in Jacksonville. We'll see if they keep Trevor Lawrence. I think they will just because they paid him, and that's the NFL. But we'll see. When you have a new regime of coaches, and it's different. It depends if you're going to give that coach general manager leadership to where they're making roster calls. That's what we're seeing with Bryce Young. They had a new regime come in and they're saying, yo, we didn't draft you, so you're not really our guy. We're going to go ahead and get our guy. And you're seeing that with Justin Fields, but they really did that to buy time. That's a whole different story. So Jacksonville, a lot of people saying Belichick's looking at that job. A lot of people are saying Belichick might be at Dallas next year or in Jacksonville. Infrastructure wise, I think he should go to Dallas. They're obviously the biggest franchise in sports money wise, and they're worth the most, even though they don't win. That should say something though. And I think Jerry will give him full autonomy and full control over that franchise. If you got full control over Dallas Cowboys, that could be scary. So, but as stay on the game here, staying on track, I do like the Texans. I think they're going to bounce back, get the dub. I think you're going to see a lot of different stuff here from Texans, as opposed like they're going to try to get Stephon Diggs going early, and I think they're going to try to keep him happy in the game and keep his rhythm going, and they'll be able to capitalize off that. So I'll go ahead and take the Texans. Move on to Steelers and Colts. As for the Colts, AR man. I don't think he has the mechanics to really right now. He doesn't have them right now. Not saying he won't obtain them, and not saying he won't get better, but right now he just doesn't have it. But it looks like they're doing a trial by fire area. It was, he was hurt last year, so I think they're just trying to play him this year and giving him full, run this year, and just seeing get a lot of film on him pretty much and see what he's good at and what he's not good at on an NFL level. We know what he's good at, from, on air. We know that he really wasn't that good in college as efficiency, but we have to really let that play out in the league because he didn't play last year. So with that being said, Jonathan Taylor, they're going to rely on him pretty heavily. I do like Pittsburgh in this one. I think Watt's going to wreck the game like he wrecks every game. He's getting to that point where he really shuts down a whole side of the field. And I, as a person who played O-line, I went up against, just in high school, I know I only played high school, but I went up against some big D1 D linemen. And when you got a D lineman that's so good that you can't run certain plays and you can't run to a certain side of the field, it cuts your playbook sometimes in half, and sometimes you have to run those plays to the left to get those plays to the right to hit, to get that defense guessing. When they know where you're going on one side of the field, it really makes it tough, and it really makes it tough to get points and to run what you were good at. So with that being said, and with Justin Fields out there trying to get everybody to put some respect on his name. As a Packers fan, I will still say I think they're crazy for giving up Justin Fields. They had a good infrastructure around him, and I think this was the year he was actually going to be able to put some stuff together and get wins. But they went another route, obviously. So he's in Pittsburgh, and I think he's going to lead them to a win. So yeah, Watt and him, and I think they'll get their receivers going a little bit early, like they have to do there with Houston. And I like Pittsburgh. Go ahead and give me Pittsburgh undefeated. Mike Tomlin looking like Mike Tomlin, man, doing his thing. Hall of Fame coach right there. So we went ahead and are looking at the rest of the games. We only have obviously one game on Monday. A lot of people are looking at Aaron Rodgers here. This was the supposedly lock of the week. Everybody's saying it's 7.5. The hammer. The Jets. I think that is a great play. I don't really like saying there's too many locks in the NFL because it's the NFL, but I will say that the Jets are going to get the dub, and I think they will cover. Bo Nix, that they're coming off their first win of the year, and I think they flat out die this week. I feel like just they nosedive, and they just they don't really get it together this week. So, but that's not bad though. That's not bad for them because they're in that transition period. They can't have too many. Really, as long as they stay healthy, this season is not have too many high expectations. So go ahead and give me the Jets. Go ahead and move on from that. We'll go Philly, Tampa Bay. This is a great game too. I think all the money and just all the public is on Philly. Just how they are mostly every game. I think Philly, even though they weren't favored last week. That was just dumb. They should have been favored. So go ahead and give me Philly. I think Baker Mayfield's going to ball though. Baker Mayfield's looking like maybe top 10, top 5 guy in the league. I don't know, just not because he's so good, but like I said, just because everybody else is so bad. So go ahead and give me Philly. I think Saquon is still trying. Give me Philly, and then we're looking at the Commanders and Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, when you don't think when you write him off, he puts a good game together and he buys a little time until he's bad again. But then you got the Commanders coming in, and Jaden Daniels looking really good. Jaden Daniels, man, he's really tough, and they got themselves a guy finally. It's good to see a Commanders. Looks like they have a guy. Last time we seen that. I want to speak Commanders right now. I'm wearing, former Commanders jersey. But shout out Dwayne Haskins, R.I.P. Dwayne Haskins. Good guy, man. great Redskin and great Washington quarterback there. I know he was in Pittsburgh there when he passed, but saw that in the closet today. Had to throw on Dewey Haskins today. So rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. So yeah, but with that said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and give me the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, him, McLaurin looking like a really good tandem. McLaurin, it looks like we don't know this, but I think McLaurin was given it this year to see if he was going to stay in Washington with their quarterback situation. I think he's going to stay. Obviously, I think they're looking pretty good, and they got something to build on there. Washington, go ahead and give me Washington. Won't give you a score, won't know how much, but they're just going to get the win, just because they just are looking a lot better than what we've seen the past few years. So let's see here. We will go ahead with our last last 4 games of the Sunday slate before we go into Monday. New England, San Francisco, trap game of the week, I think. New England, they're looking a lot better, and they're looking to build their own and new regime, new brand of football than what we're seeing the last 20 years. With Belichick being gone, they got a former Patriot in there at head coach leading the way with Gerard Mayo. I like him, man, and I don't think San Fran is San Fran. Or is San Fran just San Fran, but they're just being San Fran earlier? I said San Fran too much, but are they just doing what they do in the postseason, in the regular season now, which is just choke? I think that's what it is. I think this is the year where they kind of fall off, and upper management's looking at a new quarterback. They're looking to not rely on Debo so much in offense. They rely on him so much with offense. If he's not going, then they can't get anybody else going. I think their best player on their team is Fred Warner. I love him, man. He is a brick wall out there. I love Fred Warner on defense. I hope they get the offensive side a little bit, better, and pretty much turn the leaf over there for him, because I really do like Fred Warner. So with that being said, I think New England's either going to win or make it just too close for comfort to where it feels like a loss for San Fran. I want to say but I'm saying all this just to maybe pick the 49ers, which I don't know, but I'm just trying to, be logical here and not just make hot takes. But it's the NFL, and we don't have too much film on the Patriots. We know what the Patriots done the last 20 years. We know what the Patriots done the last 5 years, and when Belichick, how his last 5 years weren't good. But this is a new team. They got new guys. But just because you got new guys and just because you got a new team, that doesn't always translate to dubs. Sometimes it just turns your 10-point losses to 3-point losses, your 20-point losses to 7. So with that being said, go ahead and give me 49ers. I will go ahead and take that in a too close for comfort game. And I will go ahead and stay on that pick. And I think that's something that, you can take to the bank. So we'll go ahead and move on here. We got Mahomes, and then we got Herbert. Herbert's looking like he's not going to get any run today. He's been hurt way too much for his career, unfortunately. With him coming out, I know when he came out, they kind of just stashed him. Not stashed him, they put him on the field, but I think everyone else stashed him in the sense of, all right, let him get his stuff figured out. There were the Chargers, they're coaching, obviously, and let's see if he's good in a couple years. But with that being said, he's done that, but he's just been getting hurt in the meantime. So I will say I do like Herbert. He's grown on me in these past 2 years. Obviously, you want to take him to beat the Giant, to beat the big Kansas City Chiefs giant that they are, and the team that's trying to make a three-peat, make a historic run. Travis Kelce, is he going to come alive this game? Is he actually going to play some ball? Is he going to be Travis Kelce that we've seen these past couple years now? Can he do it? I don't know. I think Travis Kelce is just going to pop up in the playoffs and he's going to turn it on then. But I don't think that he's going to be. If they win, I don't think he'll be the reason today in a sense of yardage. But he might get like a game-winning touchdown. At the end might be a quick pop play or something. Him coming alive fourth quarter. But I will say, Chargers with them being banged up a little bit. I will go ahead and do Chiefs. I don't like picking the Chiefs, but I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game like they win every game, barely. And they'll go ahead and keep it rolling. I think that'll catch up with them in the later in the season, though. So let's go ahead and move with the Browns and the Raiders. Deshaun Watson, he's not really. I don't know what that guy is. I don't like Deshaun Watson as off the field and on the field with the money that you're paying him. It's different if you're not paying him any money. If you're paying him like Brock Purdy money or something, maybe that his performance and his on-field production will go and that will pass. But he's just not that guy, man. I think they need to. I think secretly they're looking to move on from that guy too, just looking for an excuse. Hopefully he gives them an excuse there. I think he will. Will the Raiders get the win? Like you said, their AP and Antonio Pierce, first year head coach, coming off a big press conference last week. Never, you won't see me saying that too much or anyone saying that he had a great press conference last week. But when he ripped his own team last week, kept it brutally honest, saying, "Man, we got a lot of guys, not playing hard out there, making business decisions." If you saw the clips of them guys just not really tackling and just not going out there and leaving it all on the field. So they said, we're going to have to make business decisions. We're going to have to do our own thing. So I think, that resonates with a good locker room, and it doesn't resonate with a bad one. So I think this week we'll really see of what they have there in the locker room. We'll see what they're made of. But with that being said, go ahead and give me the Raiders. I think they're going to win and come back. How they're going to win, I don't know. I just think they're going to get the dub. I think Big Max is going to go ahead and wreck the line. He's not having he's past few years he's been great, but he's not having a Watt year so far. It's looking like, or Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's right there with them, and he could be on their level in the coming weeks. But he can maybe prove that this week and just wreck the whole game. I won't be surprised with that. So, but like I said, go ahead and give me the Raiders, and then we'll move on to a really good game here with the Bills and the Ravens. Bills are looking hot. We talked about this last week. Did they have addition by subtraction in a sense of them getting rid of Diggs? Did that actually help them, in the long run? So did that help them get better? We don't know. That is one of those things that you just really have to let time tell, and you really just have to see of what you got, and is it a fluke, pretty much. So with that being said, Lamar, he's already cost his team a game, unfortunately. I love Lamar Jackson. I think he gets a bad rap in a lot of ways. His insufficiencies are, his insufficiencies, and what he's not good at is what he's not good at. But when you got MVPs, you're doing something right. You just got to put it all together at the end of the day. But it's the regular season, so this is the time where he's really balling out. He's trying to. They got the win last week, but they're still trying to resurrect those first couple losses. Those first couple losses were bad, and they're still really trying to submit themselves and let everyone know when they win right now with this current team with Derrick Henry, when they win, that it's not being a surprise. We need to, kind of get used to them winning again. But are they going to do it? I don't know. I will go ahead and look at these here and say, I will say that Lamar and them get it done, but just because I think they're going to take control of the clock. I think they're going to have pretty much the ball almost the whole game, unless they don't shoot themselves in the foot. They also punt a lot, and Justin Tucker's not hitting kicks, so I'm not confident in this pick. Honestly not. We got 2 games on Monday, and this one would be in the last one on Sunday. Is it gonna do it for us? Is it gonna cap the Sunday off nice? I think on paper it will, but we'll see, man. As far as a pick, though, got to give you a pick here. I will go ahead and take. I'll go ahead and take the Ravens. The Ravens barely. I think they're going to run the ball. Or I take that. Ravens if they can run the ball. Sorry, but if they can run the ball, they'll win. So we'll go ahead and move on from there. We got 2 games on Sunday. It looks like we had thought we had only one, but it looks like we got 2 here. Sorry, but I would say maybe you only have 1 game. If you're going to watch the Titans and Dolphins game, do something else. Spend some time with your family. Go do whatever. You get some errands done for the week. Get your shopping done. Go ahead and just get ready for the week and ready to have a productive week. Because if you're wanting to watch this game before the other one, you're wasting your time. I know the kickoffs aren't too far, ahead from each other, but save yourself some time. Go, fix something dinner, cook something good. Don't get something quick because it's not going to be worth it if you want to watch this game. The Titans suck. The Dolphins suck. They don't have good quarterbacks. Will Levis is horrible. I saw him throw at the combine. If you miss throws against air, when you have nobody out there, you're going to miss throws with people out there. And this dude throws the ball to the other team every game, almost every drive. So not good. Tua out. We already know that. And I think it's Huntley getting the start this week. It doesn't matter. Because they suck. And I don't like the Dolphins. And I'm not even biased against them. I don't have anything against the Dolphins. I don't like them because they're not a good football team. And I don't like bad football. And I don't like the Titans because all year and all summer I had to hear about this Will Levis dude, Josh Allen comparisons. He had the biggest robbery of all time, getting people to think he's Josh Allen. And then I had to hear that they have the best receiving core in the whole league. all off season, the Titans, Tennessee Titans having the best receiving core. You can have the best receiving core, but it doesn't matter if you don't have somebody that can get him the ball. It doesn't matter, and you also have to run the ball to pass the ball. It's the NFL. So I don't think anyone to think they were going to be good was just wild, and I was crazy in the summer. Now I'm not. So all right, we'll go ahead and move on here with Seattle and Detroit. Picking that game, I don't know. I don't know with the Dolphins and Titans. Go ahead and give me the Titans just because Dolphins are really bad and their culture's bad, their coach is bad, their coach wears capris. So that's why I'm taking the Titans because Daniels wears capris, McDaniels. So go ahead and give me Seattle and Detroit here. I think this is actually going to be a pretty good game. Now, Geno threw some dumb picks last week, but they're coming off that week, and I don't know if they're going to get the win though. I'm just taking my pick now. I'm taking Detroit. Because they're just good. Jared Goff is a quarterback that's still not getting the credit he deserves, which I do get though. He's not the most electrifying guy to watch, and a lot of people just when they think of him, they think of the guy. He's the guy that took over Matt Stafford's spot. I got traded for Matt Stafford, so a lot of people are just biased with Matt Stafford, which I get. So, but Jared Goff's a good quarterback, man. He really he's not a game manager. He really can make the hard throws. He can hit his third step, fifth step drop, and hit a guy on a hitch. He can hit a guy on time. He can make a cross pylon throw. He can make hash to hash throw, which is the hardest throw in football. He can do it. He can make all the throws. He's top 5, 6 quarterback in the league, easy. Like he just is because I was skeptical on him. I wasn't a fan of Jared Goff coming out, and even in his first few years in the league, and when he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams, the rest of his team took him there, but that got him good experience, and it's paying off. Uh, I do like Jared Goff. I think that he definitely is a good quarterback. He's gotten paid there. He's going to be there for a while. I think with the Lions, like I said, I don't like giving scores here, nothing, but I do like the Lions just because Seattle has a problem with turning the ball over at the worst time. So yeah, I'll go ahead and rock with them, and that'll pretty much wrap it up for NFL. It's going to be a pretty good NFL slate. If this isn't a good slate of NFL games, then the whole year's screwed. Pretty much the whole week is screwed if we don't have a good NFL week. So I mean, what can you do? But we like to focus on college here. There's so many more college teams. College is the better product this year, but obviously we're going to shed some light on the NFL, and we'll see if they're going to live up to the hype this week. But we know these 6 games are going to live up to the hype. They're starting here in about 20 minutes. Go ahead and run to the store, get your Cokes for the kids, get your beers for you and your boys. And throw something good on the grill. You can't throw anything on the grill; it's storming everywhere. But cook something nice. Go get some good wings or something, man. It's football. It's the best time of the year, especially right now. We're rolling into the October. We're rolling in here. It's the best time of the year. Football's in the air. If you can't go to a game soon, get to a game, even if it's a high school game. It's the best time of the year, man. It's like it's Christmas before Christmas, and it's just football, man. It's been a great year so far. Couldn't be more than happy than to start covering it this year. And like I said, we do have some interviews coming up with some high school prospects, some D1 guys. We got Jameer Spain coming up. We have his Elite 11 interview, which we was able to get back in, I think, around May. So we're able to drop Jameer Spain's Elite 11 interview. Really excited about that quarterback there. He is tough there in Mount Healthy. There out of Cincinnati. So he's looking at so he's pretty much, man, having to – it's really hard with these quarterbacks because transfer portal and where you're going to go to school. He's looking at some schools. He's got offers off the top of my head: Temple, Toledo, Kent State. So he's got a few more coming in, and really at the end of the season, he'll have some more coming in. We got him coming in. We have, like I said, Kia. He's coming in. First D1 offer he just got last week. He just got his first D1 offer last week from Bill O'Brien and Boston College. So, I mean, former NFL coach hits you up to call plays for him and to run his offense. I mean, we'll go ahead and get in touch with him. We got some more interviews coming up, too. We got Will Jackson interview update with his recruiting out of their Winter Park, Florida. Big-time prospect. He's a young guy. He's already got offered by Arkansas. He was at a visit of Florida last week. He was at South Florida. He is a future SEC P5, wherever. Put him wherever. He's he's a future big time quarterback, man. I think this guy can go pro. So we have some interviews with him coming up, and he's going to be hopping on just to give his insights on the season, how it's going, and his recruiting update. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up with that, man, of what's to come. We'll obviously do a review of our games from Week 5, and we're really excited. I think these games are going to live up to the hype, man. We really try to give you the best 6 games of the week and try to cut them down and really put the best products out there, because you can't watch every game. You're not going to be able to watch every game even today unless you got multiple TVs with our top 6, but that's how, it happens sometimes. So we try to, make the best of your time, especially, our 9 to 5ers like me. You only get a couple days out of the week to really sit out and, chill out and decompress from the week and watch some ball, and you want to see good games. So go ahead and end it with that. Really appreciate with everyone here. Like I said, we'll go ahead and do a full wrap up here later. We'll get a full schedule of our set schedule coming up next week, because we got basketball coverage starting up. Really excited to talk about that, but that's in the future. But in the meantime, thanks for everybody for tuning in, and peace.
This is my beats.